I'm thinking he's ready. You know, he's been through the trials and tribulations. He's the King Slayer, and he's got the power. He's been there before, so he was just there. He knocked the guy down, so he knows what he needs to.
Gets his chance to become that man very, very soon. What are you thinking? I introduced you there as the last man to be called the undisputed world heavyweight champion from Great Britain.
It's not an easy task, but he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work. He's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, you know, I think he has big hopes on doing it. He's gonna.
Hey, your status as that may be under threat because Daniel.
Countdown to one of the year's biggest heavyweight rematches has begun. Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois 2 at Wembley Stadium. This time, it's personal and far more unpredictable. Lennox Lewis shocked fans by picking Dubois to win, calling him a certified champion.
Okay.
Who are you thinking? Usyk, Dubois?
Well, look, I think this now totally different fight than first fight. In first fight, Dubois was outboxed, outclassed, and now I think he's definitely different type of fighter, and he had 3 great wins, and his confidence is much better, much bigger. He did something with his chin. I don't know what, but his chin is better, and he's totally different fighter. But so I expect totally different fight and much harder fight for Usyk than the first fight. I still favor Usyk slightly, but I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Dubois win.
Adam playing out.
Different to the first one. I can make much more of an argument for Dubois in this fight.
Me too.
Firstly, because he actually had success in the first fight.
He did. Do you think it was a low blow?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You do think it was a low blow?
Absolutely was. If you look,
you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry. You caught me out then with the question. If you watch, it lands low, and while it's got contact with the shorts, it actually rides up at the point of impact.
So I've no use to my argument.
But it's irrelevant because they're going to fight again.
Yeah.
Usyk won the first time, and as he said, he won by stoppage. But Daniel Dubois is a different fighter now. Fighting is 90% mental, and he is a completely different fighter mentally. He lets his hands go with freedom. He now trusts his engine because he had those rounds with Jarrell Miller that tested his engine.
Yeah.
So he's kind of ticked the little boxes along the way, old school.
This is what I'm trying to say. He's done the work. The work is fighting these guys and learning as he goes along and gaining the confidence as he did. So he's more confident going in there as a champion. He's not a young guy going in there. It's a guy that's been in there before. So he knows what it takes to win. So he just has to make sure he has a great plan because he's going in there against a great warrior. And Alexander Usyk is a man that, he's study you. So if you throw like two punches, he's going to be throwing 4 punches. So, he's got to make sure that he rallies on his combinations, and he's got the power ready. So just focus on
Top 5 heavyweights.
The world heavyweight landscape is completely changed massively over the last 2 years. Alexander Usyk is now he's in a pick and fight. I'll pick him. Might be 2 fights down the line, he's gone. The heavyweight landscape, they're looking for a new star, a new dominant figure, and it could involve Fabio. The boxing stomp is out the window now. Moses, wicked fighter, young fighters coming through. You look at how Daniel has obviously his confidence has come up. We'll see how he goes on against Usyk. Again, he may shock the world. So the landscape has changed, which again, it's very hard to predict tomorrow.
I have respect for both guys, and look, we're close to Usyk, so I'm not going to hide that. And I think a lot of both of them as men. Forget about fighters, as men. I think a lot of Usyk, the man he is, what he's done really for his country, to really fight during the pressure of his country being torn apart and invaded by another country, by Russia, and to fight during those times and that going on in his country with his people, and just, like I said, just destroying what he loves. Ukraine. And I also have a lot of respect for Dubois, for the man he is and what he's become. That he fell apart in 2 fights. Yeah, different things happen, I get it, but physical things happen in the fight with Joyce and then in the fight with...
And the man to end Usyk's reign. That statement alone has set the boxing world buzzing. Since their first clash, Dubois has done what few expected. He's transformed. He's not the hesitant, unsure fighter from Poland anymore. He's blasted through Miller, Hrgovic, and Anthony Joshua, gaining not just belts, but serious respect.
It gives a lot more. It's a different Dubois. It's a different fight. I think he gives a lot more problem. I think he's got a lot more confidence. I think he's starting to realise when he hits things, things fall over. If he hits them often enough and clean enough, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Usyk or whoever else. I know he's a tough man, Usyk, but if Daniel hits you often enough and hard enough, you break. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Saying that, I know he's in great form and that, but this Usyk, mate, he's the real deal, mate. So no one just get giddy and get too excited about Daniel, mate. We're talking about the real deal, and that's Andrew Usyk. When he needs to be tough and tough, and when he needs to be super smart, he's that as well. But I think Daniel, with the wave of confidence he's got, would cause him more problems now than he did before.
Dubois, the inactivity, missing out on that Joseph Parker fight might hurt him a little bit, because the momentum for Daniel Dubois has been incredible. I mean, he beat Miller, he beat Hrgovic, he beat AJ, but it will be, 10 months out of the ring. I still believe he'll have that confidence, but I think he could have done with that Parker fight, or certainly this fight, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. When they fought last time, I don't think that was the best Alexander Usyk by any stretch of the imagination, but I also don't think it was the Daniel Dubois that we've got now. At that stage, Daniel Dubois had very little confidence. He went to Poland, big crowd, and gave Usyk a decent fight. Didn't win many rounds, but he looked dangerous in the fight. Obviously, the controversial low blow as well. And now I think Dubois has a lot more confidence. The reality is, it's for the undisputed heavyweight world championship. Daniel Dubois could be the undisputed world heavyweight champion. I don't think he will be, but he's dangerous, and he can punch, and he's strong. Look at the size of Anthony Joshua. Look at the size of Tyson Fury. And they weren't able to get on the front foot, beat him up, and push him back. Can Daniel Dubois do it? Probably not. But he's young, he's heavy-handed, he's confident, and he's
What do you make of that fight, the rematch? I think it's the best fight. I think they're the best 2 heavyweights in the world. And there was a bit of controversy with the last time, which goes with the grain in boxing, doesn't it? A bit of controversy, but no, I think Daniel's got a better chance than he had the first time. Yeah, what with the win off Joshua, that his confidence is massively up. Well, when he fought Usyk last time, he come off the defeat from Joyce, and but now he's absolutely flying. He's got as good a chance, better chance than he had the first time around.
How much of a chance do you give Daniel Dubois in comparison to the second AJ fight, the Fury fights?
I think Daniel's performance in this fight will be better than his first fight against Usyk, but I do believe Usyk will put on a better performance and probably stop Daniel, in my opinion. Usyk has forever shown the public that let me blueprint your download your blueprint, and I've got your number. He beat Tyson better the second time. He beat AJ better the second time, and both fighters boxed better the second time around. So the only thing Daniel's got now, he's got unbelievable self-belief and confidence that's come since their last fight. So again, we'll just see what.
Oh wow, long time. You the champ. Let's go, champ.
Alexander Usyk's going to face Daniel Dubois in England and Wembley. Who do you think wins that one?
I like.
Even critics admit this is a new Dubois, but Usyk isn't just any champion. He's unbeaten, a 2-division undisputed king, and a master of mental warfare. He's conquered every style, whether it's AJ's power or Tyson Fury's size, and always finds a way.
I saw something about Usyk saying that he thought Conor Benn won the fight. I don't know if this is true. I can't imagine that he watched that fight and thought that Conor Benn won, because it's just, I landed twice as many punches. but people are telling me it's true. If that's the truth, then I'm low-key rooting for Dubois.
Team Dubois, absolutely. Yeah.
Because that's crazy. That's really crazy to me. And I've met Usyk a bunch of times, and we've always been cool. So I was kind of shocked to see.
It's still a fantastic fight, regardless. Obviously, Dubois had a bit of growing since his first time out with Usyk. So yeah, it still makes for a very intriguing fight, but I do think for the most part it's pretty much going to go the same way. Not to take anything away from Daniel and his progression over time, but ultimately I just think Usyk is a hard man to bet against.
So what makes this rematch different? According to trainers, fighters, and analysts alike, Dubois has matured, mentally, emotionally, and technically. His power was never in question. Now it's about belief, timing, and tactics. Yet experts like Johnny Nelson and Fabio Wardley still back Usyk. Their reason? Experience and elite ring IQ. So, is this the rise of a new British champion or another Usyk masterclass?
I think he's definitely graduated since our fight. Can Dubois pull it off? I think he definitely can. It depends on how much Usyk has in the tank, if he can outwit Dubois. I think it's a great fight regardless. And the best man is gonna win. You know what I mean? I want my rematch with Dubois. I'm gonna fuck him up. But it's weird, man. Dubois is the only person that can make me want to hate him and then like him, like literally within 30 seconds of my brain, like I want to kill this motherfucking I like Dubois. You know what I mean? It's weird. He's one of the only fighters that actually do that to me. But I realized that if you actually meet Dubois and talk to him, there's a reason why you have that love-hate sympathy with him. You know what I'm trying to say? So all power to Dubois. You know what I mean? Hopes he pulls it off in many ways and give him a goddamn rematch.
Usyk was a lucky man. Timing was right for him. That's all I can say about that. What's done's done. But let me tell you, good luck to Alexander Usyk. He deserves to stay champion for a long time. But again, he's going to go on too long. And I just see now Daniel Dubois becoming a multi-belt champion soon. Because how many fights you got in you? You come up from cruiserweight to heavyweight, you got these big men banging away at you. He's only got to walk into one, and the bar's up for him. He's on a good win over Anthony Joshua. He had a good fight with the American Miller, and at the end of the day, I just think it's a young man's game and anything can happen, but you could well see a new champion in Wembley soon.
The narrative is much better for the Dubois rematch. You've got the fact that they fought, and then since then, Dubois has been on a tear, beating guys that he was the underdog against, Ergovich, and then Anthony Joshua, of course. The guy has really revamped his entire career, turned it around, gone from a guy that people saw as a quitter to being potentially the most dangerous man in the world. So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy, so this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk, in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois. He's a man of his word. That guy says something, there's a good chance it's going to happen. So I believe the narrative is there, for this fight, obviously, and this is one of the reasons why it's being...
July 19th will tell all. Comment below. Who's your pick for this heavyweight showdown? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the build-up and post-fight analysis. This isn't just a rematch. It's a battle for legacy.